breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Bengals.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. That's Isabella open on the right side. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. So we have reached halftime here with not much scoring between these two teams. 6-6 our score. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, and they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Robbie Anderson, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons needing to hold on and win this one on the road to avoid falling to 0-2.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3.
Josh Lambo.
All even through one half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
On second down, here's Mixon. Mixon with a first down and more. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Touchdown.
Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have broken our tie as they take the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion. This one's caught. And it stretches their lead up to 8.
14.
So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Time on, set to kick off.
Long now will kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting 3s, and you're coming back and getting 2s, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. On 3rd down, Winston. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, the whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville. Burrow will throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 38-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now Burrow on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll give it to Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon.